We have a good time on this show every single day, quite frankly, on this show, but every single Thursday, man. Put our nose to the side, look up at this slate. We know it's going to be awesome. It's an urgency Saturday, and we kind of give an all-encompassing view of this slate with a couple different categories with our pre-week 8 of the college football season superlatives. Okay, so to break it all down, you know him, you love him. He's your mom's favorite, probably your girlfriend's favorite too. The truth hurts, but it is what it is. Favorite producer in the world. It's our very own Kato. Legally, he's Caden Smith, but he's Kato on this show. Kato, it's another good week, man. How we living?
We are spoiled as college football fans, and I'm spoiled the way you've just been complimenting me this week, but nonetheless appreciative over here.
Facts. CTS, not X. Facts. I mean, it's just I call it as I see it, man. I got a lot of people hitting me up saying, "Hey, is Kato?" I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't shoot the message. I just what's being said. We got a number of categories to get through, though, brother. Upset watch this week. Always lurking. It's always somewhere. Hey, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but SMU plus 9.5 at Clemson. We sure Clemson's good, dude? That's one that I'm watching closely. Mobile quarterback. I don't know if Tyler from Spartanburg has called Dabo's personal number in a minute. That's the one for me I'm looking at closely, brother. If I had to pick an upset, SMU, at least to cover that number, feels kind of spicy.
Very spicy. I have that in another category, actually. But
interesting. Okay.
You know me. I've been talking about it all week. I'm not quite sure Michigan's better than Washington. I love Washington going to Michigan. They're getting 5.5, according to BetMGM. I think if you had to draft offensive players in this game, you're taking a lot of guys on Washington before you're taking Michigan. I love Damon Williams and what he can do with his legs, coming off a great game against Rutgers, Denzel Boston, Jonah Coleman. Like, they're a well-oiled machine on offense, and I think Michigan, Bryce Underwood still looked a little green in that USC game, didn't look quite himself. We don't know if Justin Haynes is going to be in the lineup. I think the home field could help him for sure. A motivated Michigan coming off of a loss on the West Coast could hurt him. But to me, man, Washington is probably the most underrated team in the country. I think they win this game. It's on and popping as far as them potentially making the playoff out of the Big Ten now that Penn State's taking a couple steps back. I like that one. And I like kind of South Carolina as well. I'm going back to the well with them at another 5.5 at home against an Oklahoma team that looked shaky, didn't touch the paint against Texas. I don't know how John Mateer's hand is feeling, and I think if there was a time to bet against the Sooners, it would be right now, just given what we saw from them recently. And I don't know how much better that hand has gotten between last week at Red River and now this week at Willie B. So those are my two right now. But Washington, you can see the board, man. I have the Huskies. I think they win this one.
It's not a bad pick at all. And it's funny that you have something on SMU Clemson later. I have something on Washington Michigan later. I wonder if we're
a little Freaky Friday
synced up there. Yeah, a little Lindsay Lohan. And what's the other actress? What's her name? She's in The Bear. She's awesome. The mother in Freaky Friday. She's great, though. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it does, because you know me. I love my movies and shows. And
you are dialed in the shows.
I'm blanking right now on
in
her
the cinema.
Name,
but it's that kind of vibe. I guess, is the point. Hey, I don't think that the line is all that great in this potential upset, but optically, listen, I haven't had a feel on Duke all year. I've bet them twice and left empty-handed both times. But, dude, Georgia Tech's got to go to Durham. Just optically speaking, a top 12 Georgia Tech team that's got playoff on their mind. They got to go play Darian Mensah and feisty Manny Diaz. That could be one that just, again, optically would be a little bit upset-ish to watch.
The ACC is very frisky for sure. I have that again. Like we're hitting categories that I'm going to hit later.
Just checking
what you're saying right now.
Just peppering a little bit.
We'll rehash a lot of this.
Hey, how about things could get weird, Kato? Which one are you watching there? I want you to go first there and tell the people what you got on your mind in terms of what you're watching that could be a little bit, I don't know, it just makes you feel uncomfortable.
So like you've talked about before for your upset watch, I have Georgia Tech and Duke down for this one, and I have SMU and Clemson down for this one.
Okay.
Just two very weird spots, I think, right now. Duke favored despite being the team that is not ranked in this matchup is weird. I think Duke has not yet hit their ceiling this year. They're a good team. They have a really good quarterback, but they shoot themselves in the foot. They don't always play up to their potential. At home, get fired up to potentially knocked off a ranked team. I could see them doing it in that game, just getting weird. And then same with SMU and Clemson. This is a rematch of the ACC title game, but both of these teams just have all of the wind out of their sails right now. SMU's losses are very close, and they're not as bad, I think, as people might think, just because they haven't been talked about as much. Clemson congrats, you finally got on the winning side of things. But those are two of the three teams in the ACC that have 0 ACC wins right now with their wins over Boston College and North Carolina. So them being favored by 9.5 is just weird to me. I think SMU is going to play this game much closer. But my overall pick for this, from the games we haven't talked about yet, Vanderbilt hosting LSU. Vanderbilt favored despite being ranked lower than LSU. Very much a theme in these 2.5 at home. I don't think Garrett Nussmeier is very healthy. I think Vanderbilt's still going to play with that chip on their shoulder per usual, and I think this one's just going to get weird. It feels weird already. A lot of these lines are weird to me. Weird lines, I think, result in weird games. So that's my 3-pack there. But the weirdest one for me is the Tigers coming to Nashville and West End and keeping it frisky with the Diego Pavia.
No, I think you're on the money with LSU Vandy, dude. I mean, I told the story yesterday, but we request a lower third with the game spread on there favoring Vanderbilt, and our designer was like, "You sure it's Vandy -2? You sure Vandy -2.5? The Vanderbilt that we've all come to know as the SEC doormat over the course of the last couple of years." We're like, "No, yeah, on West End, 11 a.m. kick." Just screams bizarre, and I'm here for that, dude. I mean, I know I picked LSU to be my national champion preseason. I'm still rolling with that in my heart. That could get very weird. So that's on the podium for me. I'm definitely there with you. Georgia Ole Miss, I already referred to it earlier. I think that has some weird ingredients. Georgia off a more emotionally draining win than probably it should have been when you go to Jordan-Hare, but you knew what it was when you signed up for that game in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Gunnar Stockton, if he has to match scores with Trinidad Chambliss, don't love that. Lane Kiffin calling the show. Could be kind of weird. But weird to me, man, the Holy War, Utah, BYU, a quarterback that wears number 47 and his first name is another animal. Like, come on, bro. It's just rivalry fashion. Going to be a night game in Provo. I've never been to Provo but heard weird things about Provo, all right? So I'll leave it at that. I'm just saying.
You were public enemy number one for
BYU. I hear things. I mean, coming off an overtime win over Arizona, congrats. I wish no ill on the Cougars of BYU, but I think that game will be a little bit weird. That's all I'm saying. Ranked matchup, be a lot of fun. I don't know. I think it'll be weird in the Holy War, man.
I'm excited for that one personally. It could get weird, yes, but I'm more excited about that. And again, hits another category for me as far as the excitement of that game. That's
be awesome. Fitting. I'm pumped. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I am excited. I'm not against the good folks out there in Provo. I think it's going to be a weird spot. That's all I'm saying.
I think the Georgia pick's good too because that has a history of recent weird. That game was weird last year. Weird weather, weird backup quarterbacks coming in. Very strange game. Weird to see Georgia get pushed around last year like that as well. We're not expecting that this year, but I think a history of weird is a good call for a superlative of a game that could get weird this year. Both those teams are coming off weird weeks too. 20-10 win for Georgia. Ole Miss on the ropes from a Pac-2 team in Washington State that's just been bad this year. Weird vibes, weird juju.
Weird vibes, man. Weird vibes. Hey, you know what's the best way though to offset some weird vibes, Kato?
I think I do.
I think you know where this is going. Wearing something durable but also comfortable. The good folks at Brunt, man, I've said it a couple times, but they're getting us right. The Omen boots, I'm going to pull it up here for those of y'all listening on podcasts. You're missing out. These things are nice. All right. Listen, your boy doesn't have big feet. Size 9.5. Okay, I got some little elf feet. It is what it is. I don't shy away from that. But these things fit like a glove. They're comfortable. They're durable. I keep saying this. I understand yard work is looking over my shoulder like the Grim Reaper. Maybe make me the Grim Reaper. I don't know. But it is what it is. And these things are going to make sure that I am ready to rock and roll for that honey-do list that I'm sure is inevitably around the corner. So if you're like me, a little bit newer to the yard work game, with us now being in a rental home out of the apartment, you need something to get right when you do the yard work, or maybe you just want to have something that makes you feel good out and about in the elements, snow, rain, sleet, doesn't matter. Brunt, make sure they got you covered. So, Brunt, they were tired of workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So, they built something better, boots that are insanely comfortable, and like I said, built for any job site. So, if you're listening on podcast or you're watching, hear this. You get $10 off at Brunt when you use code HARDCOUNT. So, go ahead, use that order at checkout, code HARDCOUNT, and whenever you get checked out over at Brunt.com, make sure that you let them know that you found out about them from our show. Again, code HARDCOUNT. Save yourself some money, $10 off when you use that code at checkout. BruntWorkwear.com. Use code HARDCOUNT. All right.
Great for standing on business.
Great for standing on business, which we're doing a lot this week, man. And you're standing on business with your Washington pick.
Yeah.
Which is a great one, and that's my must-see TV.
Okay.
Damon Williams, dude.
Must-see quarterback, yeah.
I mean, he gives me Tavon Austin vibes at quarterback. He tucks it, and I know Tavon Austin's a lofty comp, so I'm not saying he's Tavon Austin, but I am saying that when that dude gets around the corner, I don't know, I watched a dude named King Miller get nasty against that Michigan defense, and he was a backup running back. Damon Williams with his speed, a little misdirection here. I picked Michigan. I don't feel good about it. I will be glued to my television watching Damon Williams cut up like Cutco. People that sell you knives at your door, Damon Williams will be getting after it. He's must-see TV for me for a number of reasons, but him with the ball in his hands is absolutely sensational. Must-see television, Kato.
Noon cup of coffee game 2. Wake up, see Damon Williams. I saw him get a Kyler Murray comp as well.
Ooh.
Love that one as well. That's 400 yards in the air, 100 on the ground last week. Just an absolute stud.
Poor Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. My must-see, it's a little obvious. It's on the nose. I don't care about it because I've been talking about it for a couple weeks now since I've watched both these quarterbacks continue to elevate. Tennessee and Alabama, man. Like, we're talking about two of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, the two leaders in the SEC. Joey Aguilar, 1,680 yards right now, 14 touchdowns. Ty Simpson, 1,678, 16 touchdowns. I want to see just fireworks left and right. I don't want to see defense played in this game. I don't care. I want to see your worst defensive performance from the secondary, and that's coming from a guy that used to play in the secondary, because I want to see both of these quarterbacks sling it across the yard. I want the final score to be 54-52. Like, I'm pumped for this game. I can't wait for it. And to me, I have other ones on here, but they're just secondary to this matchup. I don't even want to touch on the other ones. There's a great Big 12 ball on. Love the Holdie War. Baylor's probably the most watchable team in the country, and they're going to TCU. That game will be awesome. But this one, man, the helmets are cool. USC, Notre Dame, cool. Rivalry. Give me the two quarterbacks right now that are looking like their arms are going to fall off at the end of games because they're just throwing it all across the yard. That's my pick, and I'm standing on it. Maybe in Brunt boots.
I would, and some Brunt freaking workwear boots, baby. I would love if we had comparisons. It won't happen, but I just saw the graphic this morning comparing Mahomes and Baker's stat lines when they had met up, and Mahomes threw it 88 times.
That'd be sick.
If we get like the diet version of that, where Aguilar's slinging it and Ty Simpson's out there just hucking the ball, that would be, I'm with you, dude, must-see television. If you're a quarterback or you're a fan of quarterback play, that game is just teed up for you. Kato, Sickos Hour, got a good one, man. Florida State going to Stanford, just going to be fun. Can you imagine if Florida State loses that? Like, that's kind of the one for me that I have circled here. Sort of a lighter Sickos Hour. Sickos Hour prime time, if you will.
Yeah, the Sickos Hour collective has been kind of not providing the way they used to every so often. This is one of those weeks. Friday is a good night of ball, though, so I think that's where we kind of get it made up for. Yeah, I mean, that's the only game on the slate that can get you maybe excited. Watch if Florida State can maybe get their first ACC win in over a calendar year, so I'll be tuned in on that one, but it's one of those ones where, okay, if they start to look like themselves, Stanford's not looking like a team that's focused on ball, maybe more so academics, then we can just call it an early night and get ready for the next day. But yeah, I'll have one eye on that one. Not on the Sickos Hour Hall of Fame as far as some of the games we've talked about and watched this year. But nonetheless, Florida State, we'll see if they can do it.
It's going to get. I'm with you though. It's going to get real sick. I mean, if like Thomas Castellanos is out there and we see this. We see that roller coaster on fire heading downhill. That was, unfortunately, the way things went for him a year ago at Boston College and the way that it looked against Pitt. It wasn't like it was Tommy C's fault against Pitt, quite frankly. I mean, he played well enough. When you score over 30 points, like, you should feel good about your chances to win. But if Stanford, I don't know, get a little bit Captain Andrew Luckish out there, he's the GM, maybe puts together a little bit of an inspiring pregame speech for the boys. I don't know. Could be fun. But the fact that it's an ACC game is just hideous. But
who am I kidding? I took the Florida State under this year. Come on, Stanford. I'll be tuned in, trees. Let's do it, Nerd Nation. We'll get it done.
Fear the
Frank
tree,
Reich,
man.
make it happen. Help me.
Fear the tree. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there. I didn't bet it per se, but I did take the preseason prediction for Florida State to be at 7-5, which I'm not rooting ill on the Noles, but I am rooting for my boy to cash in. So where does that leave us? You be the judge of that.